It's Miss Monroe back for our language lesson, and we are going to talk some more about what today? Our adjectives. An adjective is what? Do you remember from yesterday? An adjective is a word that describes a noun. Very good. What is an adjective? An adjective is a word that describes a noun. So thinking that through, we talked about different things yesterday. I showed you some objects and we described those objects. That's what describes that noun. We had our ball and we had our toothpick and we described those things. Well, we also learned 2 questions that we can ask. There's more. We're going to learn another one today. 2 questions that can be asked of our nouns, and that will help us to find those adjectives as well. Do you remember those 2 questions? Yes, I think you do. What kind and how many are the 2 questions that we ask. Well, let's look at the sentences that we have on the board and see if that will help us to remember what we went over yesterday. The first sentence says, the large elk stood near 2 tall pine trees. So what I want you to do is I want you to look, where should our subject predicate divide be? I think I heard Amaya, right? I think I'm going to start calling your names out to make sure you're awake while you're listening. So the subject predicate divide should be between elk and stood. And then we look for our what first, 3rd grade? Yes, our verb. Underline our verb twice, stood, and then we ask who or what to our verb. Who or what stood? Nicholas? Very good. Elk stood. So we look for our subject predicate divide, verb first, then we find our subject. But now let's just look for any nouns that are in this sentence. We know that elk is a noun, so go ahead and circle it. Are there any other nouns in this sentence? I think I heard some of you. Elsie, I'm sure you got that right. Trees. Trees are our noun, our other noun that we have in the sentence. Now, when we look at those nouns, we have to ask our questions. What kind or how many? When we look at the large elk, what kind of elk? Large, very good. So put a box around large because that's what's describing elk. What kind of elk? Not small elk, not baby elk, not humongous elk, but large elk. And then draw the arrow to show that that's describing elk. And now we go to our other noun and we ask the same question. What kind or how many? Well, what kind of trees? Oh, yeah. They weren't maple, they weren't evergreen, they were evergreen, but they weren't something else. They were pine, specifically though, pine trees, okay? And so we draw a box around it, draw an arrow to trees. Is there anything else that describes our trees? Yes, they're tall trees. So we put a box around tall as well. Now we can still finish asking our questions. Just because we have 1 or 2 adjectives doesn't mean there's not any more. So let's ask our second question. How many, Olivia? I know you're out there. How many trees? Very good, 2. So again, we're going to put a box around it and draw an arrow to trees. What kind? They were pine. What kind? They were tall. And how many? There were 2. Not 50, just 2, okay? And let's look at our second sentence. Today the sky is blue. Where do we put our subject predicate divide, Isaiah? Very good, between sky and is. And we look for our verb. If it's not action, then what are we looking for? Am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had. Very good. We're looking for a being verb. And is would be that, so you underline it twice. Excellent. Who or what is? Yes, I heard you all, because you all are so smart. So sky is. We circle our noun, which pretty easy because sky is the subject, it's also the noun. And then we ask, what kind or how many? Is there any word in our sentence, today the sky is blue, that tells what kind of sky it was? Yes, very good. I heard you, Zoe. Good job. Blue. Put a box around blue and draw an arrow back to sky, because with our adjectives, you're usually going to find them right near your noun, but sometimes they may be other places in the sentence. They could even be at the end of the sentence. So very good, figuring that out. Sky, blue, that's describing sky. So our adjectives can be in the predicate part of our sentence. So blue sky, it's describing what the sky is. Excellent job. So today is a little different. We're just adding another question. And the question that we're adding today is which one? So our three questions now are what kind, how many, and which one? Which one? So let's look at our sentences on this side of the board. When we're looking at that, the first sentence says, may I have that pencil? And as you look at, may I have that pencil? We are going to, again, look for our nouns. And what is our noun in that sentence? Go ahead, answer out loud. Very good, pencil. Pencil is our noun. By the way, third grade, what is this? Can you see that? The word I. Yes, I knew you would get it. High fives. I is a pronoun. Very good. So I is our pronoun. Just a little aside because I wanted to make sure you still remembered those. But pencil is our noun. And is there anything that answers the question, which one? That pencil. Not this pencil, not those pencils, but that describes which one. Which one? That one. That one? No, not that one. That one. No, not that one. That one. Okay, so that describes what kind of pencil, okay? Or which one. Then what are our nouns in the second sentence? Good, I heard some of you. David, Josie, what's our other one? I know you know. Yes, very good, Josie. Book. So David and book are the two nouns in our sentence. What would our adjective be that's describing book? Julia, I know, because you always know these language questions very well. What would it be? Yes, third. Excellent. Which one? Third one. Okay? So third is describing which book. Not the second, not the 18th, but the third. And then our last sentence, and I want to make sure that you guys can see the whole thing. It says, Chloe celebrated her 8th birthday. So what are our nouns in that sentence? First noun, Zoe, because it rhymes with Chloe, so I thought I'd choose you. Chloe, very good. And our second noun, birthday, excellent. And then, once we see our nouns, we're going to ask our question, which one today? 8th, very good. Which birthday? 8th birthday. Just like many of you had your 8th birthday or having your 8th birthday. So 8th is a noun describing birthday. So today's question is, which one? Which pencil? Which book? Which birthday? Look for your nouns and ask the question, which one? And you'll get the answer. Good job today, guys. I'm excited. You're doing really, really well.